Hey, Tim Sykes here in a celebratory mood. As I told you yesterday, I am thinking about buying this brand new Lamborghini Huracan just to celebrate you guys. So many of you are doing so well, and I got to take a little credit. I've made enough video lessons, webinars, DVDs, and commentary, watch lists, alerts, emails, software, webinars, seminars, whatever I can do to try to help you learn. And frankly, I love my job, but I'm also going to reward myself. Just to give you an idea, in case you have no idea what I'm talking about, more and more students are making a few thousand, a few $100s per day, and it's adding up. Eric Russell is my latest six-figure student. He just crossed $100,000 after starting with $5,000 just a bit, like roughly a year ago. I have more millionaire students than anybody, and I'm very proud of that. My millionaire students also trade very conservatively. I'm proud of that because some other people have some students that have had big gains and then they blow the fuck up and they lose 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 100% of their profits. And that's why, frankly, not everybody is on Profitly. So I'm very proud of Eric and all of my top students for sticking on Profitly and being transparent, even showing your losses. The key is trading safe, and small gains add up. My student Kenny just made 5 grand in 2 days and 7 grand over 3 days. I was teaching him in person, and he's learning to lock in profits, even if it goes against his degenerate kind of disease where he wants to trade and he wants action. But he also recognizes that, guess what? His account has kind of been going up and down like a bouncing ball. That's not cool. I want your account to grow gradually. You got to give props to students like Nick. Even if you have a small account, it's okay. Freaking $600 account making $432. Okay? Making over 50% on one trade. Students like this, Brooks, who just turned 5,000 into 25,000 on Friday alone. And he credits the chat room, and now he's over the PDT rule. Good job. CT made a few $1,000s on IDXG. Matil did not necessarily make a few thousand, but he grew his small account. Invested $940, made $680. Oren, another one. He grew $430 into $988. I could go on and on. Orlando, he has a $500 account. He's made 600 in 2 days. These are the kinds of successes that I'm talking about. And while Wall Street will continue to look down on small trades like this, I know from personal experience and now from teaching experience that this is exactly what you guys should be doing. It's not about getting in at the bottom. It's not about getting in at the top. It's about using the volatility of penny stocks to grow your small accounts. And trust me, once you start learning the patterns and the angles, your account grows exponentially. Like all of my top students, this is not just one or two people anymore. Now we're talking about hundreds of examples. And frankly, you need to witness these plays firsthand. Otherwise, you don't even know what I'm talking about. So when we have a play like IDXG, and it goes from freaking 10 cents up to nearly $2 in 2 days, guess what? This is a fantastic example. Okay? What's it going to do now? Well, probably it's a short. I actually underestimated it. I did not think that it was going to break above $1 here. So me and Michael Good and Mark Crook, Mark Crook has made over 600,000. Michael Good has made nearly 2 million, and I've made nearly 5 million. And we all underestimated it. And guess what? It's okay. It's okay to be wrong about a stock. You don't have to be right every single time. Some of the best traders I know are wrong sometimes. LX21 has made over 20 million and he was shorting this thing in the 90s. Obviously, he has a bigger account so he can average up, but many of you people with small accounts, you can't average up. You should not be shorting this here in the 60s, 70s, 80s, or 90s because you can get crushed. And it's tough, if not impossible, to cut losses quickly. So props to those of you who took this opportunity, and maybe you were a little aggressive, maybe you were a little lucky, but we're in a bull market. The market's hitting new highs every day. It's not the end of the world to be a little aggressive right now, as long as you go in with a plan. And my students are going in with plans, and that is the key. And a lot of your plans are working out nicely. Far better than us old veterans who are too cynical, are appreciating in this market. Some of you guys who are new, you don't necessarily have the experience that we do, and that's to your benefit. You're too naive to know how badly this could end. This thing could drop 90% next week. It probably will drop. My guess would be 60%. I think it'll go down to like 50, 60 cents on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I could be wrong. There could be a little more upside first, but I'll be looking at this as a potential short. Why? Well, let's see how the last few supernovas ended. Well, here's NVCN. Again, I underestimated this. I was buying it in here in the 80-cent area, and frankly, it wasn't doing much on day one, so I exited basically flat. Day two was nice. Day three, after the news, was the big spike, and it went all the way up to $3 a share. So I played it way, way, way too safe in here. But frankly, I wasn't getting the price action that I wanted. And what I teach, when in doubt, get out. When in doubt, stay out. But props to a lot of you guys for riding this up. I was actually traveling here. I said on the watch list, I would buy it if it broke 97 cents, which it had resistance. So it actually did break, came up to 120, then used 96, 97 cents as support, and then kept going. So I was on the right track. I don't mind not trading it perfectly because I was on the right track. That gives me more, confidence in these patterns. But it has also come down from the threes now to nearly two. And I was dip buying it in here in the 190s. A lot of people thought that I was crazy. They're like, Tim, this is up from freaking 50 cents. Why are you buying it in 190? Because it was showing support. It actually had support right here at 190. And 190 has turned out to be the exact bottom for 2 straight days. So a lot of people who thought that I was being a little too over aggressive on this turned out to be wrong. Nothing huge. It bounced up to what? 230s. But 190 to 230, guess what? That's 20%. I was actually dip buying in here. And, it was like a 15, 20% run up. And I took only a small portion of that because it was a speculative trade. What do I think of NVCN now? Well, it's tough. The high is in the threes. The lows where their support is 1, and right now it's 2. So it's exactly mid-range. What do I do with mid-range stocks? I don't do anything because I have no idea. If it cracks 190, it could panic. There probably is some bad news around the corner just because this company is a pile of shit. But you never know in this market. I'm not going to say this definitely is going to go down to 1 because it could squeeze. They could have some press release that their little copywriters are working on right now over the weekend. I don't know. And when I don't know, I don't trade. That's part of the reason why I've made millions of dollars. You don't always have to know what a stock is going to do. I know a lot of you think that's like a cop-out, but that's true. A lot of the time, I don't know what a stock is going to do, long or short. So I do nothing. I sit in 100% cash, waiting until I see my angle. I didn't know that 190 was going to be the bottom the other day. In fact, I actually wanted it to go lower. But when 190 was using kind of support here from the resistance here, technical analysis 101, I was dip buying it right in here. And I caught the bottom. I didn't have to buy just once. I actually had to add to my position at a lower price on the second time. But it still bounced for the nice day, and then it faded. It still wasn't sure whether it could crack, and then you got a nice double bottom at 190. So if I was short, I'd be a little scared because 190 has been holding support for a while. But that said, volume is also fading, so I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know. To all of you emailing me what's going to happen, I don't know. IDXG, I don't know, but because I have such a history and experience with trading these supernovas and watching them over the past 2 decades, I would guesstimate that this is going to drop. And it's only a question of finding shares to short. I hope that there's one more spike left in it because the more spikes that are left in it, guess what? That allows some shares to open up because then early shorts can get squeezed. I don't know if that's going to happen. We'll see. Another play that I'm getting a lot of questions about, HMNY. This had a big spike in the chat room on Friday. And let me just show you, in case you think that it's only like 2 or 3 people. Some people think like, oh, you fake these Twitters. Hold on, let me pull up a little document here. 1 second. This is part of the beauty of being real. I don't fake any trades. I don't fake anything. I don't fake my students. These are all that I've been collecting over the weekend because I go back through the chat archives and I go back through Twitter. These are all people who have tweeted me their different testimonials and different trades. Okay? These are people in the chat room that have done very well. And they're making, 400 bucks here, small gain here, 780 bucks here, Trina Trader. This is on the 9th. This is on Friday. And then we also have the challenge chat room. Some people are making 337, some people are making 100. Slayer's trading scared but made 100. Trader Shocker locked in 650. He'll take that. And here's Thursday. I'm just trying to catch up literally the past 3 days. Here are some tweets from Thursday. Here's the Tim Alert chat room. Sneak Jones made 900. Great morning already, and the market hadn't even opened. People are taking a quick 188 bucks here. Joe Sack made 120 bucks here. The Architect made 211. Rom, first profit ever. Congratulations. Welcome to the game. Some are bigger than others. Here's Dan, made 1,000 bucks. Here's Austin, he made 70 bucks. Hams, I think actually he posted a few times. He was up like $3,000 or something. Here's one, I had to bolt this because this is just awesome. SK221, IDXG, another big profit, 14,500. And he held for quite a while, and he was dip buying. So good job, SK221. But it's not just about the money, too. Look at this. I wanted to bring this up. D. Jason, and he got out of IDXG at 124, in at 105, and he says he's going to hate himself the next day when he sees it at 2 pre-market. And sure enough, it did get close to 2. Jason, you just made 20% on a piece of shit company. Do not hate yourself. Learn to take the meat of the move. This is a good trade. When you have several multimillionaire traders who think that $1 a share is too high and it goes up to 124, that's pretty damn good. We're not often very wrong. So don't feel like it's definitely all going to go to 2, because if you get in that mentality, trust me, you're going to end up being disappointed. Here's Hams, by the way. He was up 2,600 on the day, played it twice. Here's this was from Wednesday, and just a few more tweets and a few more chat rooms. I just want to show you it's not just 1 or 2 people. It's a lot of students, and they're all studying my DVDs, video lessons, and webinars. And you challenge students, please, please, please watch my archive webinar from Friday after the close. It was an awesome Q&A. And a lot of the lessons that you think are important, they're not. It's very counterintuitive if you really want to focus on the best lessons. HMNY spike late day on news of a big new holder. But as I said in chat, and what I warned, I didn't want to be long this overnight because the news is actually from a prior deal, it looks like. So it's not like breaking news. It's not like this guy just invested all this new money in. It's more like he got shares from a deal announced a few months ago. And SSH, I know a lot of you guys played this. You can't be so aggressive. Like some people were buying this in the 60s and 70s, I saw. You got to take your profits in the 80s and 90s. Not every stock is going to just go up 1,000, 5,000 freaking percent. I mean, a day ago, the stock was at 20 cents. Some of you, it's good to be naive. It helps you. You're blissfully ignorant at the risks that you take, and that's good in this ridiculous bull market. But some of you really need to just get smacked in the head and, be like, yo, what are you doing? Why are you buying a stock that's up 3, 4, 500%? It might spike a little more, but at some point, almost all of these stocks come down. So you can't just be so aggressive and so ignorant enough to just hold these forever. I'd much rather you hold stocks that have like a solid base at least, like IPI. And I don't know what some of you guys are doing shorting this. Yes, it's going up, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it has to come down. Okay, this is in a hot sector. This is very friendly to our new president. So don't just short anything, and don't just buy and hold and hope. A lot of you guys need to learn how to lock in 10, 20, 30% profits. Even if you underestimate it a little bit, just get in the habit of taking profits and taking safe profits. Otherwise, trust me, if you're too aggressive, your account is going to go up and down like Kenny's, who, he's made like $5,000 or $10,000 several times in his career, which is just a few months. He started, I think, in July, and he's still not even over the pattern day trader rule. Because as many times as he's made 5,000 or 10,000, he's also lost 5,000 or 10,000. One time he even lost 14,000. So you really need to think about your potential losses on every trade. If you sell too soon, that's okay. If you miss out on a trade, that's okay. But learn to protect yourself, because I don't want these good times ending and then you guys saying, oh, Tim, you never warned us. I'm warning you, okay? Consider yourselves warned. All of you who are long IDXG, there's a chance that it might go up a little more, maybe one more day. But there's a better chance that it's going to come down. And I don't want you just holding and hoping that it's going to keep going, because most of the time it's not going to happen. So it's better to underestimate these plays than to overestimate them. And trust me, even when you're underestimating them, you can still grow a $500 account by 600 in 2 days. You can still double your money here, like Oren. Okay, Oren is a bad example because he got the exact top. Damn you, Oren. Mittil, he bought it here at 94 cents. It was already up from 10 cents, and he sold near the highs. But he still locked it in the next day. CT right here locked it in. Brooks locked it in. Even though he turned 5,000 into 25,000, guess what? He was selling in the 150s. Now, do you think Brooks is angry that he sold in the 150s and not the 160s or 170s or 180s? My guess is no, okay? If you can grow your account, whether it's by a few hundred or a few thousand, or if you get a little lucky and maybe you're a little aggressive like Brooks and you grow your account from 5,000 into 25,000 in one trade, that's awesome. This will happen again and again. Everybody who says they've never seen a play like DRYS, where it goes from 5 to 100, that's 20 times your money, okay? I get it. That's rare, but look at KBIO just a little while ago. This went from 2 all the way up to 20. This was 10 times. That actually went to 40. I don't know why this chart isn't showing it. This did go up 20 times. And another example, AQXP, a little while ago, went from 170 up to 50. So this was like 25 times. So those are a few examples just in the past year or two. It doesn't happen every single day. There's much more common occurrences like PBMD that go from 50 cents to, $6. So still 10 times your money. Or IDXG, which has gone from 10 cents to $2. I mean, this is the same 20 times your money in a few days. So people who say they've never seen this, it's because you're not studying the past. It might be rare. NVCN went from 50 cents up to $3. So this is 6 times your money overall. And I'm not saying ever try and make 6 times your money. Never try to make 10 times your money. I'm just bringing up volatile examples. And if you say that this doesn't happen or this will never happen again, you're wrong. Because I have cataloged it. I have worked my entire life trading these kinds of volatile stocks and now cataloging them and teaching them. And while none of them are exact duplicates, you can study and you can prepare. I know there's a whole contingent of people that make fun of my DVDs and patterns. Fuck you people who don't like studying the past, okay? It's pathetic if you ignore the past. There's literally some people out there, they're like, you can't prepare for this. All you can do is experience it. You have to learn one by one. The past is irrelevant. That's some of the dumbest shit I've ever heard, okay? The past is not irrelevant. Every single one of these plays might be a little different, and they're not exact, but guess what? I picked the bottom here on NVCN, and I said this is straight out of my penny stocking framework DVD, number 5. The bounce wasn't that huge, but guess what? It was a 20% bounce. I'm not even going to claim credit for buying it here in the 80s because it really didn't spike until day 3, so I was way too early on this one. But on this one, my timing was exact. And sometimes you're going to find that that happens. And it's a beautiful thing when you have exact, dead-on timing. And it's a combination of studying the past, and it also is about experiencing them live. But if you're just starting right now, you don't just have to sit and wait and be like, oh, when's the next supernova, Tim? I'm not learning that much. And you're waiting, and 6 months in, and maybe there's only 2 or 3 of them, and you're like, come on, I want more. Well, when there's nothing happening, you can study the past, okay? My How to Make Millions DVD is 35 hours long. I don't enjoy talking. I don't talk for the fun of it because I like hearing my voice. I talk because I want to show you the intricacies and the patterns and the subtleties of this niche so that you can learn to have a little bit of an edge, long and short, and mainly so that you can protect yourself. Because no matter what people I show, making money like Brooks or CT or Mittil or Oren or Orlando, and there's many more, But too many of them get in the habit of these nice profits and then they start losing. And it's a very slippery slope once you start losing because you try and get it back. So, yes, the question of the weekend is yes, it is possible to turn 5,000 into 25,000 overnight if you focus on the best play and you're prepared. This is not Brooks' first trade, okay? He's been studying with me for several months. He's been in the chat room day in, day out. But if you're prepared and you do trade these volatile plays, sometimes you are going to nail it every now and then. And it feels fucking great. And I want more of you guys to feel this way too. So leave a comment. Let me know if you understand the gist of what I'm talking about, of how to witness these plays live, and then also expand your education, expand your knowledge account by studying the past. That's today's lesson. Thank you very much. Be in the chat room tomorrow, early tomorrow morning. That's also important, okay? Don't just get into the stock market at like 9:29 a.m. Eastern and be like, okay, what's hot, okay? I've been traveling. I've been in Laos. I'm donating schools in Asia. I actually have some big announcements coming up regarding that. You'll be impressed. But even when I do that, I'm trying to get in to the chat room and I'm trying to be prepared for any potential plays, at least 15 to 20 minutes before the market opens, and ideally 30 to 40 minutes before the market opens. And my chat room, it's the largest chat room for a reason. We have over 1,000 traders in it every single day. And trust me, it's better to have 1,000 pairs of eyes looking for hot plays. Brooks is a great example, okay? He was in my chat room and he picked it up. Some other people use my software Stocks to Trade. If you use the chat room in conjunction with the software, it's very difficult not to pick this up. And mind you, the beautiful thing about penny stocks is that it's not about breaking news. It's not about being first, okay? You don't have to buy it right here when it spikes. When the previous close is here at 10 cents, you don't need to buy it at 13 cents or 15 cents or 20 cents, okay? You can be a little late. You can buy it anywhere in here. And FYI, some of the people who made the most on IDXG were dip buying it after it already hit the 50s, and they're dip buying it here in the 30s, or they're buying the high of the day breakout here at 60, then it goes up, and guess what? It tests 60 again. This same kind of pattern right in here is the exact same thing as NVCN the other day, okay? NVCN, in my watch list, I specifically, again, even though I was traveling, and I'm sorry, sometimes that happens, I specifically said overnight here because it could not break 96, 97 cents for as hard as it wanted to, right? As hard as it tried. It could not break 97 cents. The next day, you can either buy it on the dip, which is a little risky because, again, you're not sure if 97 cents is going to break, or you buy it when it actually does break 97 cents. And when you buy it here, just before the market open at 97 cents, just before 10 a.m., it's already up to nearly $1.20, so you're up 20%. And then you have another opportunity. If somehow you did not read my watch list, if somehow you were not there for the first half hour of the trading day, it comes back to 97 cents. And then you have another opportunity to buy the breakout. So look for these high of the day breakouts, or 2-day breakouts, and then look for that key level to hold and for it to break the next level. NVCN, it worked like a charm, and that led to this. And it worked 2 days in a row also. There was a high right here in the 150s. It broke it, went to the 180s, came down to the 150s, then broke the 180s again on its way to higher prices. So I hope that you're beginning to see these plays in a different light. It's not just like this stock went from 10 cents to $2. Focus on buying these little high of the day breakouts and these dips. And then sometimes, when a dip holds the former high of the breakout, guess what? This is a great dip buy here opportunity too. And I know several students who did that. This thing is choppy, so don't feel bad at all if you exit too soon or exit too late. You're just trying to lock in 10, 20, 30% profits. You don't have to go for 100 or 2 or 300%. And now understand that it's up, nearly 20 times. This is like DRYS in the 80s, and DRYS crashed. DRYS is back down to 4. So I don't know if this goes back down to 10 cents, but I can guarantee you that it will go back under $1 a share at some point. So this is a potential short for me. That's it. Get in the chat room. I'll see you guys tomorrow.